listening to African Father in America podcast by Simon Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.
Thank you so much for joining me for another amazing episode of the African Father in America podcast. My name is Simon Javan Okelo, and I am in Seattle, Washington. It's 6 a.m. in the morning, and we are up and early grinding, and documenting African culture. And I'm here with a special guest, my brother Ken Simbi, who is a program manager with King County, and doing great work also as a creative. We are going to learn a little more about Ken Simbi in a moment. We are also going to learn about an African proverb from Mozambique. We are going to learn what Ken thinks about this proverb, and then we learn about his story, a story from Ken's childhood that inspires him today as a leader here in the Kenyan diaspora. And then we will learn about some of his accomplishments as a creator, as a creative, someone who is who is doing creative work as an artist as well. And then we will listen to some of your perspectives, as our audience members who are joining us today. Then after that, Ken is going to close with his reflections of how, today's session was for him. So if you're joining us, thank you. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am going to pin the link at the top of the Clubhouse room in just a moment. But for now, I want to create space for you, Ken. Just, introduce yourself a little more and share with our listeners and our viewers just a little more about yourself.
Thank you, Simon. That's my brother right there. He told me about joining this podcast, and when he sent me the times to sign up, I saw 6 a.m. and those were the only options. I was like, Simon, am I on the right link? He's like, that's when we wake up over here. So thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. My name is Ken Simbi, born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya, all in Nairobi Hospital. That's where I was brought up and was moved over to the United States in Seattle in 2001. I've been working in nonprofits for a very long time, working with young people from ages, 5 all the way to 24. My passion is just being able to make sure that our young people, our youth, have sustainable futures, and they have access to community centers, access to education, access to jobs, access to anything that will put them in the path to success, because that worked for me, that worked for Simon, and that's why we're here. So I'm very thankful to be here, and I'm excited to just talk and to vibe with everyone globally on this amazing platform. So Simon, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you again for being here. If you are, on the Clubhouse space, please just share with me in the chat where, which part of the world you're joining us from, so that we can, have an idea, our global footprint in this moment in time. But we are going to center this conversation on an amazing African proverb from Mozambique. And the proverb says, you cannot dance well on only one leg. You cannot dance well on only one leg. When you hear this proverb, what is it that comes to your mind? I want to bring the microphone to you, my brother Ken. But if you are listening on, Clubhouse, and you want to see my face and Ken's face, you can actually join us on YouTube right now. The link is at the top of the Clubhouse room, and I see some comments on YouTube here. We'll see what they're saying. But I'm just excited to see Dr. Ayoka in the room, Sarah, Bibi, Flamingo, Lauren, Lavender, Debbie, and Kay. Thank you for joining us. My brother Ken, when you see this proverb, you cannot dance well on only one leg, what is it that comes to your mind?
First of all, this proverb hits home pretty well, because one, I'm a dancer, as you mentioned, artist. I'm a drummer. I do dance. I did dance for 15 years. Was got a great opportunity to be able to perform for the community and just globally as we were teaching young folks how to dance. But this proverb talking about from Mozambique about you cannot dance well on one leg speaks to me in the sense of community. You need two legs, you need a firm foundation to step down and be able to make those moves, do those steps, do the b-boy and the b-girling that happens out there. So planted on both feet, you're able to go further when it comes to steps, balance, the power moves. That's what it also brings one back to me about when you said it immediately. The one that popped in my mind was, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with a group, go with a village, go together. So yeah, this proverb speaks nothing but community. And Simon, that's what's built your empire here in Seattle, in Kenya, globally. You really embody going together. So in short, I want to hear from our folks as well. The biggest thing this brings up for me, which I'm a huge advocate for, and I live and breathe, is community. Put the foot down. Let's put both feet down, and we'll show some much better dance moves.
I agree totally. And, that brings us to the episode takeaways. My team and I prepared some 3 takeaways for you that I want to share now before we jump deep into the next question for my special guest. If you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Simon Javan Okelo. I'm the host of the African Father in America podcast, and we are enjoying and dissecting an African proverb from Mozambique. It says, "You cannot dance well on only one leg." And Ken just shared his perspectives on this proverb. Ken is my special guest, Ken Simbi, and these are the 3 episode takeaways that we prepared for you today to consider. Number 1, communities are powerful. They provide support and encouragement. So Ken, you nailed it, Number 2, communities offer a sense of belonging. Number 3, communities help people feel connected to something larger than themselves. It makes you more powerful as an individual to be a part of a community. Like the Daily African Proverbs, by the way. This is a space that I feel powerful by being a part of this Daily African Proverbs, and being the host of the African Father in America podcast has connected me with so many people. And also, as you're speaking of the work that I do, in Seattle and in Kenya, it's really, really about community. I was sharing with Ken before we went live that Ken was asking, what time did you wake up today? And I told him what time I woke up, and then he was like, "Do you have naps during the day?" And I do, man. It's my mother's fault. She always made sure that we had the discipline and the physical fitness and the mental fitness to really get things done. And that includes the discipline to wake up the moment the alarm goes off the first time. It's like you've scored a soccer goal. You celebrate just being alive by getting up and getting things done. So let's hear from you again, Ken. But before we go there, I want to see those who are on Clubhouse engaging with us, share in the comments. First, I was asking where you're joining us from in the comments, but I want you to also, just let us know what it is that you're catching from this conversation. Later on, we will give you all a chance to speak and share your perspectives, but there are things that we want to see you share in the comments if you can. But also, I want you to engage with me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is @Okelo Javan, and this proverb is there. And after this, I'll just be going over comments there and responding. So it's one community that I've been building over the last year or so, and I want you to be a part of it. Ken, share with us, a story from your childhood. Today, here in Seattle, you are also part of a lot of networks. Before before we were here today, we used to run into each other on Clubhouse from time to time. And then maybe 5 months ago, actually, Lavender, who is in the audience, connected me with a very amazing event producer from Nairobi who was visiting Seattle, who then introduced me to someone who knows you, And then I was talking to Rail Be Free about Madaraka Festival, and also, he's like, and Ken will also be there, So I was like, wow, you're doing things, and when you're doing work in the community, similar to what this proverb says, your story goes ahead of you, the impact that you're having goes ahead of you. But I feel that this kind of impact you are having must have been inspired from your childhood. So I wanted you to just speak to one event or one moment that when you think about that moment, you feel like waking up and, getting things done and inspiring other people, to, other young Ken Simbis to also do similar things.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. And I need to remember that we got folks on Clubhouse and other folks listening in, not necessarily seeing us. So when I nod, I need to say verbally something to you so that it's not just physical motions.
But
So
hold on, Ken. Your background and your heart, that your Godfather game is just epic. So if you guys are listening, you should probably watch Ken's background. I need you to talk about that for a moment as well. Why this style is so distinct.
As artists, we try to get our own thing, I mean, you and I have dreadlocks right now. Shout out to the amazing artists who did it. Royal Roots in Seattle that does my hair. Amazing lady. But then the hats. Simon is talking about my hats backdrop. So we all know about the pandemic that we're in. And I have a green screen. Green screens are not the prettiest looking things. So in order for me to create a border around the green screen, I'm a hat fanatic. I love collecting hats. So behind me I have around 40 hats that are hanging on the wall. I love classics. I love fedoras. So that's mainly where that comes from, and that was inspired by my guy Michael Jackson, actually, because of the dance. That's where I picked up a lot of the moves when I used to do dance. He used to have the hat in the Billie Jean, the Smooth Criminal videos, and I started wearing hats and put my own twist on it. But yeah, that's what Simon is talking about to our amazing viewers and listeners out there. Actually, viewers, you can see the hats, but for the listeners out there, Clubhouse and anyone else, it's a big backdrop of fedora hats on a green screen wall. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So let's hear more now about this story that inspires you today as a creative and as a leader in the community here in the diaspora, and also, as I was saying, the impact of your work travels before you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Simon. It's not gonna shock people on here, and Simon, you touched a little on it, saying it's your mom's fault you wake up so early. So shout out to your mom. Similarly to me, I mean, African women are some of the most resilient, brilliant minds, strongest women that I know, personally, and a huge shout out to all the African women, just powerhouses in their own setting, and my mom being one of that. Just She was very resilient in making sure that we have a bright future. And this started, I didn't see it when I was in Nairobi, but I see it now. But putting us in the best schools down there. I went to Strathmore for primary school, St. Mary's for high school. For those who have no context, those are schools in Nairobi. But education was a big piece of her, and also community. So being able to let folks come into the household showed us how to. This is my story in the sense of growing up, looking at my mom doing all these things, um, um, and just being able to create that community sense and that drive for education is what has directly impacted me, to where I'm at right now. Like just opening up those doors and throwing us into the youth groups, on Good Shepherd Avenue Church, right on Gom Road there. She was able to network us in there so we could have a community of our fellow age mates. And from that, I picked up basketball, music, dance, acting, just from that one statement. So that's why I say I'm very, very thankful for the foundation she laid. She's the reason I'm in Seattle right now. We came to visit her for 2 weeks, Simon. 2 weeks. And I'm still here. She tricked us, man. We got onto that plane. We were thinking we're just doing a December Christmas visit, and she was like, I bought you guys a one-way ticket. You're not going back. You're going to start school over here. So that was a shock for an 18-year-old when you're going back to show off your and ones and your American clothing back in 2001, when she has a whole plan and future for you. But because of the future, I'm able to be in the career that I'm in right now and the education that I've gotten and being able to stand or sit in front of my brother here on his podcast. All that directly links to that strong African woman who had faith and belief in us, to be able to just set that foundation. So once again, shout out to the African women, shout out to women in general. We're very thankful for each and every one of you, and I honor each and every one of you.
Man, thank you so much. That's incredible. Now, I know that you do a lot of things as a creative, and I just learned, as you're saying, you are a dancer, you are a drummer. Do you sing too?
No,
Okay.
I've tried. I've sang in choirs. That's the only set.
Yeah. Well, you've sung. So just take that credit. Anyway, so share with me just a little more, because here in Seattle, one of the artists that are really, really popping right now is Rel Be Free, and you're working with him. He's performing at Madaraka Festival. First of all, share with people who are listening and watching what you know about Madaraka Festival and what it means to you to be performing on the stage, but in the set with Rel Be Free, and also you are in the organizing team. So just speak to all of that.
Folks, if you've not been on Mr. Okelo's page, Simon's page about Madaraka Festival, I just encourage you to just jump on his IG right now and check it out. Madaraka Festival is a staple in Seattle. Simon has made this a staple event. It brings out artists from all over the place. It's such an honor for me. When Simon posted on it, finally, my schedule has kind of cleared up, in a sense where I wrote to him and I was like, hey, can I be a part of this in one way or the other? Because I've been mainly on the crowd side of it, and just being able to witness rich African, and also actually it puts in global. There's African, but then there's also a global aspect, but mainly honoring the global and the ancestors, with artists, with artifacts that are sold, supporting local artists, supporting local entrepreneurs. It brings such awareness on stage. Folks walk away with a feeling of, we want more of this. And that's all done possible by Simon. And I'm positive of a great team that I've been introduced to. So Madaraka Festival is the place to be. I've been able to see, global stars, Macklemore. We've had our guy, Awar, playing with the sax. That I remember when I came, Simon, you gave me more than my money's worth. I was not expecting those guys, but when I showed up, that's who pulled up on stage, and I'm like, what is this? So that speaks to you and your advertising and your connections for folks to want to partner with you. When you're seeing big artists like this on stage, and Simon has more surprises up his sleeve. That I'm not going to mention any names, but Simon's always pulling something for this next one. So there's some good folks coming up to perform. You heard Rel Be Free, shout out. That's my brother-in-law. I'm going to be playing drums for him. I normally do the djembe. So yeah, that's about Madaraka Festival. Me, about on the artist side, I've been playing drums and dancing for the bigger part of most of my life. It's just a passion that I have. It connects me to people. It connects me to, in tune to nature, myself, and also I've dabbled here and there with acting. In fact, there's a movie out there, Simon. If I ever get the guts, I'll forward you the DVD that played for very long. It played for 10 years in Kenya. It was called The Teapot, and it was basically about just young teenagers when they get to that stage of just wanting to become an adult and just trying to keep us away from doing or making dumb decisions. So they did it as a public announcement and used to be played over the holidays, for teenagers and folks to kind of stay safe in the activities that they indulge in. So I was co-starring in that, and that was one of my claims to fame, in Nairobi. So if I do get that, I will pass it your way. But when I've looked at it now, when I see the the filming and the special effects, we used like chicken blood for like a scene to show blood when we had an accident in one of the scenes. Some of those are things that I remember. But then music, we still do. I'm in a band. We just played at the Maiden Bower in Bellevue. For folks who do not, Maiden Bower, just a center, a community center. We played for an event. We've played at the Jazz Alley, and we have like Afro Caribbean, Afro jazz is more of our style. So we're a saxophone player. I play drums for them, percussions. My wife is an amazing singer, Simon. That's Jarrell's sister. So Jarrell's sister has some mad pipes, and he's doing great work in the Seattle area. Um, I teach drumming to young individuals. I have contracts with this Seattle school district, just spread out in different schools, being able to teach African drumming. So the djembe, and I take some drums from Nairobi. From Kenya, from Uganda, just different tribes, and show the young folks that we're more than just what you see on TV. We have a very, very rich culture. I go into the drums. I go into honoring the people who made the drums. We buy those drums, Simon, like you have the amazing, is that the Nyatiti behind you? I see that over there. We honor folks by just sharing these instruments, and these young people are able to grow up that Africa is not this backward place, and they've been surprised by the fact that there's so much rich culture. And at a young age, I'm saying that's why I do it intentionally, to change the name of what Africa is, because that's one of the best continent. It's the best continent out there. We're far advanced in so many ways, and I'm just proud to come from the motherland and represent from Kenya and with Ugandan heritage. I cannot. My cousins will kill me every time they remind me to tell people that you are Ugandan by blood, because my mom and dad born and raised in Uganda. Then they moved to Nairobi because of the Idi Amin regime. That's why I was born in Kenya. So.
Man, I just appreciate you, sharing so passionately. We need to create a project together. We need to do Anyatiti and Djembe and bring in some hip hop in it, Nice. I'm serious though. We need to do something together.
For those who cannot see it, I played that sound for you. That's from the djembe. I'd love to do a project with you Nyatiti and the djembe. I'd love to do that, and mix some hip hop in there with Rel Be Free. So let's set that up, Simon.
Well, speaking about collaborating and community, Rel Be Free is African American and he's a dope hip hop artist, and you are Kenyan, Ugandan. You are African, doing traditional African music, but you're collaborating so flawlessly. And in fact, you are now building family, You are not building, but your family, because you are in-laws now, Can you speak to the importance of, Africans and African Americans building deeper relationships like that?
Man, thanks for bringing that up, Simon, because there's been a lot of tension, as you may know, sometimes, unfortunately, where you hear that sometimes Africans and African Americans are not. No, I'm not saying this is not This is speaking specifically for instances that I've heard where there's been beef, or there's been you're better than this person is better than this person, or these guys work harder, these guys are lazy. And I'm not going to mention who in distinction, but those are things that have just terms that have been thrown around. So for me to jump into a beautiful family, the Davises, that's Jarrell's last name and family, these are folks who just honor the African heritage, man. So when my wife Kyla, Jarrell's sister, first met my mom, I knew that was it when she called my mom not by her first name, but when she said Mama Ken or Mama Lighten. She added Mama on the top of that because in her household she was not raised to call elders by their first names, and that just spoke so richly. And then being introduced to Kyla's family, being introduced to Rel's family, the way the parents carry themselves, their friends, their college mates, it opened up such a rich understanding and appreciation of the Africans and the African Americans, and just knowing that we're one. We seeing how we both honor each other, seeing how Jurel keeps dying. So Simon, we need to take Jurel to Kenya, because every year he asks me, Ken, when are we gonna go? And he's very ready to go this year in December. So Simon, I don't know what your schedule looks like, but we might need to. What does it look like?
Well, if I'm not there, let's say I'm not there, I have people who are listening who are in Kenya who treat you like I am there, So, but listen, we need to get him there, even if I'm not there. We have this education, music, and art program that we run through One Vibe Africa, where every month we create a new beat, a new rhythm, and we bring artists for a residency, in Kisumu at our studio. And so we could have him in December. And we also do music videos. So we if we are working with 3 artists, each of them creates a song out of the same beat, and then we do music videos for each of them. Through Madaraka Festival, we've been able to buy production equipment in Kisumu, and so, we have young people who are trained, and mostly they were trained by filmmakers from Seattle that I traveled to Kenya with. So, I bought the equipments. Right after Madaraka, I would buy all these equipments, then travel to Kenya with some of the artists who performed at Madaraka, some of the people who helped with producing the event and the video for the event. Then they go and show the young people in Kenya, how to use this equipment. So that's how we developed, One Vibe Films. In Kenya, we have One Vibe Films that also serves clients. Outside of training these youths, we also create jobs for them where we look for clients and, we get paid to do the work, That's part of why I'm doing this full time now, because it got to a point where, the impact of the work is growing. And so I had to go all in.
For you to be a full-time thing, Simon, that's amazing. So I'm excited to, I'd love to. Let's talk more, because my December plans actually just opened up, because we were supposed to be in Qatar for the World Cup, because Cameroon made it in, but then we were looking with my friend. We thought we were early by trying to book hotels in a month or a half, but then hotels have been sold out, and the only space we have is in a desert in a tent for 150 a night. So I'm not doing that, man. I'm not going in a tent at night. So we'll travel.
You can watch it at a 5-star hotel in Nairobi on the TV, right? At the same amount of money. Yeah. But listen, depending on when in December, for me, I don't think I'll be there in December. I'm planning to be there in September. But we can plan like a media tour for Real Be Free, in Nairobi with multiple, media outlets. And then we can plan a few gigs too for him, in Nairobi and Kisumu. So, so it can be a collaboration with One Vibe there. But also, One Vibe is here. We are now building programs, and I'm looking for, artists like you to work with, So we need to connect. We are bringing the education music and art program that we do in Kenya to Seattle as well. So we have a lot of work to do, and hopefully as it grows, we all do it full time,
Eventually want to be working for ourselves, Simon. I love that you're doing it full time. Congratulations to you, man.
Thank you, man. Now let's go to our audience members here briefly. Ken, I want you to take notes. If you hear anything impactful,
Got it.
nice. Then you'll be able to reflect. And also to everyone who is in the audience on Clubhouse, thank you for being here with us. If you'd like to join us on the stage, I will turn on hand raising. And if you are with us on YouTube, thank you again so much for all the love and support. Make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Make sure you push the thumbs up button so that when we are live again, YouTube notifies you. And if you're on Clubhouse, make sure you're sharing the link to this conversation within and outside of Clubhouse. Feel free to clip some of the nuggets that are being shared here on Twitter, and we are going to retweet it. Now we want to hear what Debbie has to say about today's conversation. If you have any comments to my special guest, please go ahead. And also if you have your own interpretation of this proverb from Mozambique, please go ahead.
Thank you. Greetings to all. I'm Debbie Berlin, aka Game Dev Debbie, joining from Maryland, very close to DC. And I'm always inspired and grateful. And, today talking about community building and the dance. We don't want to dance on one leg. We want to dance on two legs and also dance with each other, right? That's a bigger party. That's more fun. And that speaks to the joy of collaboration and community building. And the proverb that was mentioned about going further together, that's one of my favorite African proverbs. I'm so excited. And not only that, I was so happy to not just hear it talked about, but to actually witness it in action, because you all are right now collaborating and making plans. And so it's so beautiful to witness, to hear the discussion of the proverb, and then to witness it in action. So I really appreciate the community building and the collaborations, and it's such an inspiration. Thank you all so much.
You're most welcome, Debbie. Thank you again for all your support as well. I truly appreciate it. Kay, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from? And what does this proverb mean to you? The proverb says, you cannot dance well on only one leg. This is a proverb from Mozambique.
Good morning. My name is Kay. I'm calling from, I'm on Abenaki lands in more commonly known as Vermont. And this proverb means to me cooperation and team building. And on that note, one of the best dances I've ever seen is by Les Twins, Larry and Laurent. Laurent at the time was injured and he had to be in a wheelchair. So I think taking it literally is not meant to be. You can dance sitting, you can dance. Dancing is can be shared with even your face. I mean, I've seen Les Twins do that, where even their eyelashes are in time with the music. They're just amazing. I think it's meant to be more figurative in cooperation. And thank you all.
And Simon, I just want to...
That's incredible. Ken, go ahead.
Kay, thanks for sharing that. I also appreciate that you honor the ancestors by stating the land you're on. I mean, Simon and I are on Duwamish land, and we always want to honor our ancestors. And yeah, the Le Twins are just amazing dancers. They use their face. I had the honor of seeing them when they came to Seattle. They were doing the This Is It Michael Jackson tour that ended up going without him, even after his passing. So they're amazing at just being able to express it. And I remember the wheelchair one you're talking about. So thanks for sharing that. We want Duwamish land and honor to the ancestors.
Thank you so much, Ken. Lavender, how are you doing, and where are you joining us from? And also, what are your perspectives on the proverb? And also, feel free to make any comments to the conversation that we're having with Ken.
Hi, Simon. Hi, everyone. Simon, thank you for the opportunity to share. Ken, it's amazing to see you. I can't wait for you guys to collaborate and work on some music. And Madaraka, we have some unfinished business. So my perspective about today's proverb, you cannot dance well on only one leg. What comes to mind when I read this proverb is that we need each other. We are present in this world to be there for each other. And when you're working on something, it's even easier when you have other people helping you. So some help sometimes is good. And when you're extended a hand, take it. Thank you, Simon. I'm Lavender, and I'm complete.
Yeah, that's incredible. Ken, I hope you're taking notes. I'll give you a chance to reflect on, everything that our audience and guests are sharing on the stage. Hey, Stella, how are you doing today? Please share with us your perspectives as well on this proverb from Mozambique. It says you cannot dance well on only one leg, and also feel free to share any comments and perspectives in regards to the conversation we are having with Ken. For those who are on Clubhouse, Lavender and Stella and myself, we work together for One Vibe. So if you want to stay in the loop about One Vibe activities, please follow them on Clubhouse and also on other platforms. They're very good people. Okay, Stella.
Thank you, Simon. Hello, everyone. This is Stella from Kenya. And today's proverb, when I first saw it, I laughed out loud because there's a song that has been trending for some time by a guy called Jehovah, I think something like that. And he's from Ghana, and he's singing this song called One Leg. And people have been doing the dance challenge. It's so funny that people are trying to dance with one leg, yet still they are using their other body parts to move around. And so when I saw the proverb, it just reminded me of his song. And again, it also reminds me, it brings some very awesome kids. They're called Masaka kids, I think. They dance so well. And when you sometimes I just watch them for like 2 hours, just enjoying how they dance, and it's such a beautiful thing. They do it as a team, and it's so beautiful, the choreography and everything. So if you relate it to the proverb, it just shows how there's power in unity, power in getting together, and you can achieve so much. So that's what it teaches me, and I'm glad to share with you guys, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Stella. I definitely, remember, images of the kids you're talking about. And also, when kids are dancing, it's so infectious. You find yourself also dancing. Sometimes you haven't even allowed your legs to move, but then you realize that your legs are already moving, So it's just amazing to listen to you describe, those kids. I'm reminded a lot about that also because we have many kids at One Vibe. We have a dance program in Kisumu, and whenever I'm there in person, it's always something else. I always find myself trying some of these moves. I want to move on. I want to welcome, One Africa Forum. I think this is Prince. Prince, share with us where you're joining us from and what today's proverb means to you. You cannot dance well on only one leg. And also, if you have any comments to the current conversation that we are having about communities and the power of community.
Thank you very much, Simon, and hello to everyone in the room. It's Prince from One Africa Forum. Straight up, on the proverb, when I saw it in the hallway, I smiled, and I had to join in the room and just hear what the conversation is about. It is really an interesting one. You cannot dance well on one leg. It just goes to further talk about the power of teamwork and team building as well. If you really want to go far in life, you can't walk alone. And so I have a picture in my head where the one leg represents the individual, represents you and me. I mean, just an individual. And that's it. That's how we all came to this world. And anyway, we came on our own, came alone. But if we really want to um, make an impression or do something, make something out of our lives, then I have a picture of the other leg, which represents other people, which is not necessarily another person. It could be another person, it could be other people as well. And that helps you go far. And that helps you really, bring very balanced rhythm to the dance as well. So it's important. You cannot dance well on one leg. I just hope everyone takes home to understand the power of team building and the power of a community. Talking about community, that is very important as well. And that is why it's called a community. It's very important. You need these people who share the same values, the same ideas, and that's it. You see the cooperation that goes with both legs when there is. I don't know, for those who know how to dance, I'm not such a good dancer. You see the cooperation, you see the rhythm, you see when one moves, the other moves, and so on and so forth. That is it. It talks about understanding as well. And so if you really want to make an impact, if you really want to bring about change, if you really want to go far, you need another leg. You need other people. You need a community. You need to build it. You need to have a tribe and a community that you work with as well. That's very important. It's an interesting proverb, and and I'm happy to be here as well. Thank you very much, Simon, and to every other person in the room. I'm just gonna listen and hear other views from other brilliant speakers out here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prince. Where are you joining us from today, by the way? I'm trying to take a geographical vision of where each person in this room is at the moment.
Yes. Forgive me. I should have answered that earlier. I'm currently speaking from Johannesburg in South Africa.
Fantastic. I just love traveling virtually. That's part of why I love doing this. Every morning I get to talk to people who are in different parts of the world, and my mind just travel to all these places. So thank you again. And Bibi, thank you for being here, Bibi. You are one of the most consistent supporters of this space. And also, I realized that you know a lot about African food. So yesterday's proverb elicited long conversations on Instagram about how the ashes can also be used. There are very many different uses of ashes, and I didn't know that until yesterday. My guest yesterday was Gogo Rutendo Ngara from South Africa, and she's just so knowledgeable. Anyhow, Bibi, share your own perspectives as well. And the proverb is, you cannot dance well on only one leg. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Simon. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope all is well with everyone. And yes, Simon, I do see, I came to the US when I was about 15, almost 16. But throughout all this time before that, I was in Uganda. I grew up in Uganda because I'm half Ugandan and half Sudanese. So I hope our guest continues to claim Uganda because Uganda is an amazing country. But anyways, my grandma, my mom's mom, they used to cook, and I mean not her personally, because they had people doing that for us. But she always would bring me in the kitchen and tell me what's being cooked and the uses of them and stuff like that when I was a bit younger. And all that stayed with me, even if I never learned how to cook until I was about 18 or 20 years old after moving here. But I remembered all those ways of cooking and everything that was put in, but I just never cooked all those foods because I have an older sister who cooked a lot, and that was her thing. So she did all the cooking, and I did the washing of the dishes and whatnot. But when I got married, I started cooking because I didn't want my kids eating McDonald's or just fast food. Period. I just started cooking more, and not until my accident did I start actually doing more home cooking, like the village cooking, like the traditional foods. And then I remembered we use inaka. That's in my language, and in our, I think the South Sudanese they call it combo. Yes, but we use a whole lot of that, and I if I didn't have the ashes salt here before, but it's like when I went to visit my aunt for Christmas, one of the days in Nebraska, she had them, so she gave me some, and I was able to bring it back with me to Tennessee and use it. So yes, you can do so much with it. And after going back to listen to what Gogo was saying, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it just reminded me like I was sitting in the village with my grandparent and all my other aunties. And back to the proverb. I mean, yeah, the proverb today, definitely you can't dance with one leg for long. I mean, yes, you can dance with one leg, but you can't dance with one leg for long. And that I'm just gonna use the proverb for family, like as a family, and outside family as well. Um, when it comes to raising your children, one leg represents you. Yes, you can do it, but as long as you keep an open mind, you can trust your village to be able to impart in some wonderful knowledge and wisdom to them as well to complete the child. And that's exactly what my village did to me back home when I was growing up. Not necessarily did I spend all my childhood with my immediate grandma, but I had some grandparents that weren't um, my blood relatives, but they were my village, and I was able to learn some new things from them as well. And that's my take that yes, you can do it all by yourself, but you can always invite others to give you a hand as well. And that's why I guess they say it takes a village to raise a child. So that's my take for today. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. And the village helps raise your child whether you like it or not. The teachers are involved. The relatives are involved. So it's inevitable. So I love everything you said. Hi, Sensors. How are you doing? Share with us your perspectives as well on this proverb, and also feel free to also make a comment on the current conversation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Simon. Good morning, everyone. Great to catch up with you all. Um, I'm going to go back a bit to what Bibi was talking about the ash. We call it combo. By the way, if you're looking for ways to cook it, you can find some on Taste of South Sudan on YouTube. Um, and Taste of South Sudan store actually sells it. So we have a huge supply and it will just be shipped to you if you're interested in using it. and it's really good. It gives the food a different taste. It brings out different parts of your taste bud that you didn't know existed. So yeah, that's really great. Um, about the village, you can't dance with one leg. So growing when I was young, I was born in Sudan, Southern Sudan, and there, yes, had we were in the city, but we had pretty much most of our family there. And Sundays were spending with our grandmother, where all of us grandkids would come. And all of that changed when the war happened. We lost connections, lost our connections to our cousins growing up, all of that, including our own aunties. So when we moved, and then we moved on to stay in South Africa, the village, or we somehow created our own village, which was pretty much based on peers and people that were friends with our parents. And so most of us kids would also be friends. And in a way, that was some form of a village. And I think the village is the community you create around you. And that is something I've taken with me as well, moving to the West, since I've just moved to different countries every now and then, is that find a support base that you can lean on who have similar values with you, or you both agree on certain things, and who have the heart to see your children as their own. So even if you leave them for an hour with them, you know that they're giving them the same support someone else would have given them. And I think always try and create one. You are never alone. They don't have to be from your country. They don't have to speak your language. You can create one through common interest and a belief in specific systems that you want to live by. And much. I love your hats. I saw all of them. Thank you for claiming both sides of where you come from. I tell people I am South Sudanese, South African, because each part of where I have lived has impacted on my growth, and so I don't deny that. And my parents come from different parts of the country, so that alone also brings with it something different. And as much as people will push you and say, no, you only come from where your father comes from, and that's the only thing you should mention, I always tell them, no, I always mention both, because they are all big families, and we have strong entities of matriarchy in some of our family members. So there is that connection that we continue to carry with us wherever we are. Thank you, Simon. I'm complete.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sensaz. I deeply appreciate your contribution. And, we are heading towards the end of our conversation today. If you're just joining us, my name is Simon Okelo. I am the host of the African Father in America podcast. And today's proverb that was the center of our conversation is, you cannot dance well on only one leg. This is a Mozambican proverb, and my guest is Ken Simbi. We are live and direct on YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. That's one way you can provide digital currency to keep this work going. Subscribe, share this video with your community if you feel that it's moving and important. And also, if you're on Clubhouse, thank you for all the support. Make sure you're following the African Father in America Club and nominate other people to join the club as well. Now, back to you, my brother Ken. I want you to first, before you reflect on everything you heard, share with us how we can support your work, whether it's following you on socials, whether it's, going and donating to one of your projects. Tell us how everyone who is listening and watching can take action to support you right now.
Thank you, Simon. And I'm actually very excited to reflect on all the amazing things that were said. So I took some good notes, Simon. But in the meantime, once again, my name is Ken Simbi. Just excited to be here with my brother Simon. You could just follow me. So same KENNSIMBI. That's on Facebook, and then at Ken Simbi. That's on Instagram. where you'll see some of the things that I do and how I get involved in the community. I wrote down a few things. I have a van, and I have a truck that supports Afghan refugees and folks who are in need of moving. And this van and truck both support the community at no cost to them. So if someone is in need of moving, if you need to take stuff to the dump, if you need a truck, if you need help moving your apartment, moving costs are very expensive. So we offer these services for our community, and in February we were slammed with the amount of Afghan families that were coming in. So, but the community came together and were able to just bless us with items and this and that we're able to take around. At this point, we've done, I think, fully furnished around 40 to 50 families. That's like TV, couches, laptops, clothing for the kids, you name it. That's each family, through donations and through support. I got volunteers to drive around Seattle and do this. So yeah, check it out on Instagram. You see some posts that speak, or just come if you want to volunteer with me, drive around and support these beautiful. I'm an immigrant myself, coming in from Kenya and Uganda. I claim both, as folks mentioned on here. And then the one announcement that I want to say that just happened recently, Simon, which is actually really sad, is the Big Blue. So I have two, like I said, I have the truck, it's called Big Blue, and I have the van, big 15 passenger van called Big Burgundy. So Big Blue was stolen from my driveway yesterday morning at 6 a.m. and it's out there somewhere. So if you're in Seattle, Tacoma, SeaTac, Nairobi, even Nairobi, Bellevue, Nairobi folks got connections in Federal Way. Federal Way is like little Nairobi. So if you see a Big Blue Chevy truck, 1979, just send me a message on Instagram. If you go on my page right now, you're going to see my story that shares that. That's a truck that serves the community 100%, and it was just driven right off my lot. It's desperate times right now with COVID. There's a lot of thefts. I went onto an app, and the police came to the house and just told me that this is like they've never seen stealing like this before. It's just happening all over the place. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you're in. Bellevue, Issaquah, Mercer Island, Kent, SeaTac, it doesn't matter. They're taking stuff. So please bring the truck back. It needs to serve the community. It needs to serve its people. And yeah, that's my little spiel before I get into breaking down some of the stuff that was said. Simon, did you want to add anything before?
No, man. I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of all the amazing work that you're doing, and asante apunda ni mateke. That's what they did to you after all the good you do. Anyway, share the reflections too.
Yeah. So reflections. I'll work my way from down up. Bibi, from Uganda. You talked about the food. You talked about the one-legged dance. Bibi, I do like that you're, I think, one of the only ones who mentioned being able to dance on one leg, because someone mentioned the one-legged. The one-legged from Ghana is the TikTok viral dance that's gone. And out of all the performers, there was one performer who was an amputee and was dancing on one leg. And he was able to do it, and but even with this proverb, it can sit with that individual because you can use your hands, your feet to make the movement full, and he was doing it with a team. So amputees, my amputee brothers and sisters out there, you can dance with your one leg. So thanks for touching on that. And then the census also touched on the taste of South Sudan. So go shout out to her. And then also I like census that you mentioned that claim both. I think you mentioned being from South Africa and also Sudan. Yeah, I do claim being Ugandan because that's in my blood. My mom and dad are from there. I was born and raised in Kenya. I speak, talk, look like a Kenyan, but then my blood is very Ugandan, Nyabo, and I speak the language as well. So I hold that. Prince, thank you for joining in from Johannesburg. Just touching on the impression that it makes with one leg. We have Stella Stella is part of the Madaraka team. And Stella, you touched on the Masaka kids. Now, Masaka is like 30 minutes from where my mom was born. So, yeah, that's Uganda right there. Those are Ugandan kids, and they've appeared with a guy that we need to get on this show or at Madaraka. That's the guy, City Alosi, Eddie Kenzo. So Simon, let's connect and bring Eddie Kenzo. I was able to watch him actually perform live at Rafiki when he was in town. Debbie touched about dancing with each other, not just you putting your 2 feet down, but dancing with each other. Kay shouted out the land that she sits on, and I really resonated with that. And that's why Simon and I were able to also share that we sit on the Duwamish land. We have Lavender, who's also part of the team and was able to just join us in giving it a chance, and talking about the being able to just give a chance with folks and community. Everyone touched on the communal part of this that I appreciated, and being able to work together. So that's my best note taking I've taken since high school. And I wish I was a good note taking like this in high school, because I'd be much, much further along.
You did so well, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Is there anything I didn't ask that you want to share before we wrap up?
No, once again, please, if you're in town for Madaraka Festival, please show up. And once again, if you do see that blue truck, every time I think of it, it really does hurt. I love what Simon said. Simon, man, you have that good timing. Asante ya mapunda. Asante ya punda ni mateke, which means the thank you of a donkey is a kick. And if you know a donkey, you guys, it has a very strong hind back kick. That means basically when you, for the parents out there, you'd understand this. You do all these things for your young person, and then they just thank you by giving you some crazy attitude or whatever the case might be. So that basically that's what that proverb means, and it's such a good timing for now, because yeah, for it to be a community truck and someone to take the truck and just steal it from, because folks sign up and borrow it frequently. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna stick on that note too long, but I'm glad to have this platform to be able to share. Shout out to each and every one of you. This is 7. It's coming to 7 a.m. in Seattle, and wherever you're at, evening, morning, afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Really, I'm very honored to be here.
Thank you so much, my brother Ken Simbi. When you start your day here in the Daily African Proverbs, your day is going to be good, So, I totally believe that, because I feel that our ancestors are present here with us. We're having conversations around proverbs that they had conversations around way before we were here.
Simon?
Yes,
Simon,
go ahead,
just
Census.
a bit of clarity. When I was talking about South Africa, I was saying that I grew up there, and so in a way, it's in my blood. Not that I have genetic lineage, but I have social lineage.
Thank you.
So that's almost like home. Yeah, just the clarity.
Thank you.
Census, I was listening to a talk by Credo Mutua, who was a South African sangoma and also an author of multiple books and artist. And he was actually saying that, Africa was, long before we had the borders, the people in South Sudan and South Africa and Nigeria and Egypt, they were the same people. It was just one community, and so I want to say that you're South African too, I'm a Cameroonian and I'm everything, because we are all African, and by extension all human beings came from Africa, at some point. So thank you again for being here. I see in the audience we have Sambaza, the host of Sambaza podcast. Thank you for being here. Rushi, Austin, William, Ejlal, all of you are appreciated. Sarah, Latanja, Coach, and Roger, thank you. We didn't hear your voices, but we deeply appreciate you. And also everybody who contributed your voices, from Census to Bibi to Stella, Lavender, Kay, and Debbie. Thank you all so much. And to everyone who is watching, thank you for the support. We will see you next Monday. Monday to Friday is when we do the daily African Proverbs, and it's 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My brother Ken, thank you again for your continued support. And, I'm just so inspired by the work you do. I'll follow up with you and see how we can continue building. Peace and love.
African father in America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. Africa, tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. America. Tujikaze, tujikaze, jikaze. You are listening to African Father in America podcast by Javan Okelo, live from Seattle, Washington, USA.